And no big deal. Lots of people wear makeup to work, right? It's not a thing. But like somebody was very upset about that and thought that it, you know, there's some sinister reason behind it or something, which is just ridiculous.
It's LeahMouseVlog, LeahMouseVlog, it's LeahMouse's vlog.
Hey guys, this one's gonna be a phone vlog because I'm waiting for my battery and my camera to recharge. I thought that I would just keep it going and use my phone. I mean, it's nice. It's a little more intimate. I look a little more human, I guess. I'm gonna try to not look at the phone. I'm looking at the screen right now. You guys are up here in the top left corner in the little camera thingy. My face is right there. So I have to do, this is weird. I don't know why the purple light, ooh, oh. So if I cover that, oh, I discovered a trick. Okay, anyway, so this is in essence a pajama talk, which I think is well suited for a phone vlog because it's casual. Everybody uses their phones. Nobody looks up from their phones. Nobody lets go of their phones. Everything is on their phones today. Sorry, I don't like phones. If they were just phones, I could get on board, but you know, we don't need personal computers at the ready at all times. It's ridiculous. But anyway, and I hate texting. Hate it. So for today's pajama talk, I'm wearing Slytherin t-shirt sent to me by Draco, who is amazing, and Slytherin pajamas. It says Slytherin right here. You can see it, and there's the crest. Haha. My neighbors probably think I'm wacko. So I have the window open, and I'm sitting here in front of the open window, being all weird in front of a camera, but they can't see the camera. They just see me being weird. So what I wanted to talk about in today's pajama talk, I thought I would address something that people might be wondering about. And nobody's really asked me, but you know, people get curious about stuff. People wonder about stuff. And there actually is a reason, believe it or not. So I figured I would talk about it just in case y'all wanted to know. Okay. I wanted to talk about why I don't wear makeup anymore. And I know that sometimes I do wear makeup. You know, I put it on every once in a while for special occasions or a video if I'm really feeling up for it, you know. But for the most part, like compared to my older videos, I mean, like I was always wearing makeup. I, you know, ordered the Jeffree Star palettes and I was practicing makeup. I was doing makeup videos and things like that, you know, and then there's now. I've basically not worn makeup. Oh gosh. Couple of years. I mean, I've worn makeup here and there, but for the most part, I haven't worn makeup for like the last couple of years, maybe even 3. I'm not sure. And if I did do it, it was very sparse. Like, I mean, I will go months between putting makeup on, which, you know, before was kind of unheard of. I did makeup like almost every single day, and I usually didn't film a video without wearing makeup, which, you know, if I did, was unusual. Like now it's unusual for me to wear makeup in a video. So you see what I'm saying here. And there is a reason, okay? And it doesn't have anything to do with COVID, believe it or not, because I know a lot of the beauty industry changed with the pandemic and people sort of just stopped caring about makeup, and honestly, skincare sort of took over because, you know, we all succumbed to maskne, and that was fun. I'm still fighting it myself. I still got this stupid pizza grease pimple above my lip, and it's very irritating. But that's my own damn fault for being a pig. But no, yeah, it had nothing to do with COVID because I actually preferred to do makeup during COVID. I actually kind of jumped up my makeup game a little bit because I was going out, I was working, I was an essential worker, I had to keep working, and the face mask, you know, all I had going for me was my eyes. So I wanted my eyes to look nice. So I actually did my makeup more than usual during COVID because my eyes were the only things people could see, and I really wanted them to look nice. Excuse me, I need some Slytherin juice. Mischief managed. And it doesn't have anything to do with financial reasons either, because, you know, makeup palettes are expensive. I still have makeup palettes. I know I probably shouldn't be using them because, like, they expire and, like, I don't care. I mean, they were expensive and I don't use them very often. I'm going to use them. So it's not for reasons that people might think. To cover the reasons why I don't wear makeup anymore, I should probably cover why I originally wore makeup. I always thought makeup was kind of silly. And I don't mean that in general. I mean, there are some really talented makeup artists. You know, people can do their makeup and they look freaking awesome and they can do some really cool techniques and everything. Like, I respect people who have the energy and time to put into doing makeup, especially like full glam stuff, or even like taking it a step further with like the really artistic things that they do, like transforming themselves into other people, or the Halloween makeup, you know, the really detailed stuff. Like, it's cool. It's cool to watch. It's fascinating, and they're extremely talented, and it's cool. But I always thought makeup was just kind of frivolous. Like, is it fun? Yeah. Is it practical? No. I just always kind of thought that it would be a waste for me, because I just have never really put that much emphasis on my looks. If you can't tell, I mean, I'm not fashion savvy at all. I have no sense of fashion whatsoever. I mean, I dye my hair, but then I don't even bother to style it usually, you know, unless I'm really motivated, you know. And as far as makeup goes, it sort of just falls in the same category. Like, I just have never really cared that much about my appearance, because for me personally, my appearance isn't who I am. You know, it's not a representation of my personality. I mean, it could be, and it is for some people, and that's perfectly fine, and that's really cool, and I respect y'all for doing that. Fashion and hair and makeup and accessories and shoes and whatever else can absolutely be a representation of your personality. But for me, it's not, because I feel like my personality, it's like if I did all that, it's more like a surface level distraction from my personality, if that makes sense. Like, it gives people a wrong idea about me, and I don't like having it's hard to explain, but that was more of a like developed thing as I went on with life, which I'll get more into in a minute here. So the reason that I started doing makeup was because I felt not great about my appearance. That was when I started. Like, I've never really cared too much about leading with my appearance, if that makes sense, but I wasn't always happy with my appearance. So I was like, okay, well, makeup is here to, you know, remedy that or aid it in some way, you know, enhance it sort of. So I just kind of thought, I'm like, you know what? I kind of like how my eyes look with a little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of mascara, you know. Okay, I can get on board with this, because I have small eyes. I have hooded eyes, and they're kind of beady, and they like disappear when I smile. So I've never liked how I looked in yearbook photos, because, you know, everybody else is smiling and you can like actually see their face and their eyes, and they're like, you know, like that. And every time I'm smiling, I'm like, my eyes are gone. So I was always really self-conscious about that as a kid. But anyways, so I liked the whole path that I could like enhance my eyes with makeup. I was like, okay, I'm really into this, you know, because, you know, cool. And it didn't get too much into it, but I was just like, you know, I'll just do the bare minimum and make it work and do something, you know. I wasn't like super into it. And then like the whole like makeup beauty YouTube community thing happened, and I started seeing tutorials. I'm like, this is cool, this could be fun. And it sort of became appealing more from like an artistic standpoint. Like, oh, this could be fun to play with. Let's see what I could do, you know, kind of like coloring or drawing or painting or something. That's sort of how I saw it. I didn't see it as like, oh, I want to look good and do my makeup super glam so that I can look good. You know, and you know, this is probably a lot of motivating factor for a lot of these makeup artists, is they see it as a creative thing, like drawing or painting, rather than like, I want to look super awesome. I'm sure it's a combination of both, you know, but I'm sure that they're not just sitting there like completely vain, except for one person I could think of, but I won't talk about them, you know, and just thinking like, how can I make myself look super awesome? I'm sure they're in it for the creativity and the artistic expression and stuff, and I totally can respect that, and I like that. So that's sort of what got me into it a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is cool, like all the colors, you know, and I can experiment with, and like, what can I do to make my eyes like really, you know, look nicer than I think they do, you know? It started that way, and then it sort of became like that was like my only thing. Now, without getting too triggery here, I'm just going to briefly touch on, I wasn't in a good place for many, many years mentally. So my appearance kind of became the only thing I had, as sad as that sounds. So I say that I've never really been into my appearance, which is true. On a superficial vanity, self-expressionist level, it's never been important to me. However, when I was in a bad mental place and I felt like I had been robbed of who I was inside, my outside became all that I had left, and it's all I had to work with. So I really kind of had to do something with it in order to just feel human. Some of you might understand what I'm saying, because I think a lot of you guys have gone through similar situations just from talking to you and, you know, reading your messages and hearing your comments and stuff. So, you know, I started doing my hair crazy. I started doing the makeup, you know, I started dressing a certain way, you know, and I'm not saying that it was fake. I'm not saying that at all, because it was what I wanted to do. I did enjoy doing it and how I looked. It was an accurate representation of my personality on the outside. And the only reason that I let myself do that was because I didn't felt like I had anything inside. Because see, what I said I was going to talk about later, like the distraction from who I am inside. Now I feel like it's a distraction from who I am inside, because I feel like I have tons of inside now. So I don't need the outside. I'm like, you know, if you want to get to know me, you're going to look past however messy my hair is, however plain my face is, or however crappy my fashion choices are, and you're going to actually just want to get to know me and talk to me and learn who I am, versus getting a snap judgment just from looking at me, taking one look at me and going, oh, the hair, the makeup, the clothes, she's this person. And I feel like I know that already without even talking to her, you know. But back then I didn't care. I didn't care because I didn't feel like I really had an identity. I didn't know who I was, because it was bad. Okay, it was bad. And it perpetuated for many, many years. Again, without getting too triggering, I'm just going to say it perpetuated, and people in my life certainly didn't help. That's all I'm going to say. So it was more of a not even a self-esteem boost. It was just kind of like a hanging on for dear life by the skin of my teeth type of thing. Like, that, it's all I had. It's all I could do. You know, it was basically putting energy into how I looked was the only thing that I could focus on that made me happy in some sort of way. And it was just like all I had. And I know it's really sad, and I'm not trying to bring anybody down or make them feel bad for me or anything. That's definitely not the point. What it should make you feel is very, very good, because since I haven't worn makeup consistently in so long, to me is a huge indicator of how happy and comfortable and confident I finally am, because I don't care. Like, I do my hair. I like coloring my hair because it does make me happy. That is what I believe to be a representation of my personality. I don't style it because I'm frankly too lazy to do it. And I don't know much about hairstyling. I know about coloring and a little bit about cutting, but styling, forget about it. So I do like dyeing my hair. And plus I have gray hair. So it's like, if I don't want to look like a grandma, you know, already, just kind of hand in hand, you know. So dyeing my hair, I mean, that gets a free pass because I do enjoy it. I've been doing it since I was like 14. So it's almost just my routine at this point, you know. It's not even anything. But like the makeup and the fashion and everything, like, I just don't feel the need to do it because I don't care. And I remember the first moment that I had with that made me feel good. And it's like, you know, do you know how it is when you're trepidatious about something and you're just kind of not sure? So you've been holding it in and like not even bothering trying because you just, you know, you just really don't know. And then you test the waters. You just dip your toe in, and turns out there's a positive reaction from whomever or whatever you're going for there. And it just sort of blooms in you, and you're like, oh, okay, this might actually be a safe space. This might actually be okay. And then you like creep out the door a little bit and you're like, oh, it's actually not so bad out here. Why haven't I done this before? That was a strange little analogy, I guess, but in context, it will make sense. So like when I met JJ, okay, I credit him with most of this. Just because he's a good person, just from being who he is, helped me be who I am, which I think is the epitome of a healthy relationship. You know what I mean? Like, we bring out the best in each other. We've both made major changes to ourselves because we want to be the best versions of ourselves, and we both just build each other up and support each other. And it's just kind of like a never-ending little thing of, I build you up, you build me up, I build you up, you build me up, and we just keep becoming better and better people because of it, like individually and together. And it's like the coolest thing ever, and neither of us has ever known what the heck that was like before. So we're both like, oh, huh, this is weird. So this is what we're supposed to be doing this whole time. Okay, well, at least we're finally doing it. Better late than never, right? So anyway, when I first met JJ, I was always going to work with makeup on, which I was always getting yelled at for, by the way. Certain person did not appreciate that I wore makeup to work because they thought that there was some sort of ulterior motive or nefarious reason behind it or something. And I'm just like, look, I'm interacting with customers for like 10, 12 hours a day. I want to look nice. I don't want to look like a hobo, you know, going to work. And plus, it was all I had. It's all I've got. And I wanted to wear makeup, you know, because it made me feel good. It was like one of the only things that made me feel good. And no big deal. Lots of people wear makeup to work, right? It's not a thing. But like somebody was very upset about that and thought that it, you know, there was some sinister reason behind it or something, which is just ridiculous. So anyway, so I met JJ and we became friends. We were friends first. So we were going to hang out one time, but I guess he fell asleep or something because I was waiting for him to get a hold of me, and I had my makeup on and everything and I was ready to go. And I later found out that he fell asleep. Anyway, so it was like 2 hours later or something, and I got tired of waiting. So I think I just like washed off all my makeup and, you know, was just sitting there relaxing or whatever. And then he finally got a hold of me and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry I fell asleep. You know, do you want to go grab some food? And I was like, okay. So I went. I didn't have any makeup on, and I was just like, oh, well, like, this is my face. I'm not self-conscious around this guy. You know, if he doesn't like my face for my face, then he doesn't like my face. That's his problem. You know what I mean? So I just didn't even care. I showed up at the restaurant, no makeup on. And I remember he looked at me kind of funny because he'd never seen me with no makeup on. And then he later told me, like after we got together, he later told me that he thought I was super cute without makeup, but he was really shocked to see me without makeup. He's like, whoa, so that's what you look like, you know, under the makeup. And I'm like, is that bad? No. And he said that I was really cute. And so that's what I was talking about, like with the tiptoe into the thing and the opening of the door. Like somebody validated that I didn't need to wear makeup to look good or feel good. You know what I mean? And it was just that small of a thing. You know, I was able to hang out with this guy completely comfortably, barefaced, and he treated me the same. In fact, he was extremely nice to me that night. I remember I was so nervous I could barely eat my pasta. So, and it's not necessarily anything to do with JJ, because like I've asked him before, I'm like, do you like me with makeup? Do you like it when I do my makeup? Do you like me looking like a hobo? He's like, I don't care. You know, you're you no matter what you do to your face. So he's like, I don't really have a preference. I mean, you look good either way. And I'm just like, where have you been my whole life? You know, like it's nice to get compliments when you look nice and when you put effort into looking nice, like doing your hair and makeup and stuff. But when somebody tells you that it literally makes no difference to them what you're wearing or how you do your makeup or how you do your hair or how you dress, when they tell you it makes no difference because you're still you and they don't have a preference either way and you look good no matter what. And they say that sincerely because I know a lot of guys are like, oh, you look good no matter what. And it's just like a cheesy bro line. You know what I'm talking about. But like when they literally are indifferent, you know, to when you dress up versus when you're in pajamas looking like a hobo, that's how you know it's real. You know what I'm saying? And I can feel that from him. And I'm not saying, again, that I'm fully crediting him with this, but it made me realize, like he made me just how he treats me and how he's talked, like how the conversations that we've had and everything have just made me realize things. It's changed my perspective to like a really healthy perspective. Now I've worked on building myself up on the inside. So the outside doesn't even matter to me anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't matter. I don't care if I look good. I don't want to look hideous, of course, but I don't care about looking my absolute best just to go to the grocery store or to go to dinner or to shoot a video. You know, it's not important to me because I feel like what's most important is what I'm here to say, how I'm here to be, the things that I'm trying to convey, you know, the fun, the humor, the sarcasm, the dog. You know, all of that is so much more important than whether I have my makeup done or not. You know what I mean? That's why I don't do my makeup anymore, because it's just not important to me, because I feel like putting makeup on, other than when I'm just really in the mood for it, I feel like I'm doing it just for the sake of looking good for the camera or looking good for the rest of the world when I go out, because I personally don't need it. I personally don't require it. I personally don't really care. You know, my face is my face. I don't hate my face. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I don't hate it. And I'm not here to look good for the rest of the world. Like, that's not my purpose. I know I've said that before. It's like, if you can't be happy with yourself, why would you even bother caring about trying to make other people happy with you? Like, I mean, with, appearance and things like that, or pleasing other people. It's like, well, I like this movie. Oh, but you don't. Well, I'm not here for you. That's what I mean. Like, things like that. Like, you should obviously try to make other people happy in your actions and your deeds and your thoughts and, how you treat them and everything. That's not what I'm talking about. I just mean, I'm not a statue to be physically admired or by my preferences by others. Like, their opinions of me and who I am and how I look isn't what I'm living for. I'm here for me, and to spread the joy and the happiness and the fun and all the stuff. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. You know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. So that's why I don't wear makeup anymore. And I hope that explanation was satisfactory. And thank you for listening to my very long ramble about that. I really need some more water. That water bottle I drank the last little suckling out of it, and I really need some more. I figured I would share my insights with you. Hopefully you got something from it. Hopefully that made sense. I see one hair in my shadow that's sticking out, but I don't see it. There it is. I got it. Haha. So thanks for hanging out with me. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. And don't forget, the most important thing is to be true to yourself and not to live for other people. When you start living for other people instead of for yourself, oh, honey, you're doing it wrong. That's not what you're here for, okay? Make other people happy. Yes, it's important for us to take care of each other and spread the happiness and the joy and the love and stuff, but you're not here specifically to please other people specifically by being someone that they want you to be, whether that be in looks or personality or preferences or whatever, okay? So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. My nose will not stop itching, my God. So don't forget to watch out for the sheep as always. And vlog phrase of the day is, Herbie doesn't like to make toys. Oh God. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for hanging out. Love you so much. Okay, bye.